So for writing today, we will draw changes the animals went through in Farfalina and Marcel. And then you will draw some changes that you watched as they went through that. So we're going to do some shared writing together. That means I do a little bit and you do a little bit. So if you want to put it on pause and get your journals, that would be wonderful. That way you can write along with me. Okay? So, are you ready? All right, let's do it. So we're going to draw some changes the animals went through. I am going to draw a straight line down because I'm going to put them into two different columns. So in the middle of my page, I'm going to draw a straight line down. That way on this side, I am going to draw all about Farfalina. Okay, do you remember who Farfalina is? I'm going to put an F up here for Farfalina. And Marcel, I'm going to put an M on this side because that will help me remember, oh, that's Marcel. So we have to think back even at the beginning of the story. What are some changes? What did the animals look like? Do you remember Farfalina? She was small. She was a caterpillar. Good. She was small, she was a caterpillar, and she climbed on trees. I remember that part, that she climbed on the trees and they would play hide and seek together. So if I think about Marcel at the beginning, what were some things that he looked like? He looked small. He was a goose, or they call gosling. They call baby geese gosling. And he was gray. Do you remember them saying that he was a gray bird? They talked about him being a bird a lot. So that was at the beginning of the story, wasn't it? I'm going to make a column now. I'm going to make it go right. I'm going to make it a line across, I think, this way. And then I can talk about now things at the end of the story, how they looked. So if I think of F for Farfalina, I think that what happened to her, do you remember? You're right, she turned into a butterfly. A butterfly, so she was a butterfly. And remember, she climbed on trees. This time she was flying. She had wings. Right? Those are some changes that she went through. What about Marcel? Do you remember any? Could you write down any changes? What did he look like at the end of the story? He waited and waited, and then he didn't recognize himself. He was just waiting so long, and then he came and looked into his reflection and said, hey, I look a little different. He hardly recognized himself. He was big. He was not a gosling anymore. He was a goose. He turned brown. Wow, so those are some changes that both of them went through, right? Can you guys think of any other changes? We talked about animals and people both go through changes, don't they? They all go through a life cycle. And so all of us go through changes. And look at all these different changes that at the beginning of the story to the end of the story, these animals went through. I want you to draw a picture now. So if you have your column like me, you've probably written down some stuff or drew some pictures. So I remember at the beginning of the story, this is what he looked like. Maybe this is what, it was kind of small, a small gosling. Miss Cochran, it looks like a dinosaur. Oh, all right. And then at the end of the story, I know geese are a lot bigger. And maybe I'll add some color to that because he did kind of change some color, right? And then at the end of the story is when Farfalina changed, right? She We can even draw that cocoon because that was one of the changes from the tree that she went to. Can you draw those changes for me? All right. So today we learned about the changes the animals went through in Farfalina and Marcel. And now it's your turn. It's your turn to share with me what you drew for the changes the animals went through. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.